1, 2, 3. Let's go, guys. It's the new episode of Tinder Podcast. Today we have a surprise for you.
Very special, guys.
Yeah, we have
Hi.
a new guest. It's Gabi, Gabriela Dobrova. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi guys, I'm 22. I'm also from Bulgaria, just as Rado, and I work and study in Eindhoven currently.
Yeah,
Well, welcome, Gabi, to our podcast. I hope you like it, and I heard that you are a very
Yes,
like good listener.
thank you for having me. And I do like the podcast. I've been following you guys, so I think I'm gonna join this.
thank you. Thank you. Um, so, yeah, like maybe I maybe we should walk through the audience how we know each other, or like basically we know each other from school, from university, from Fontes. We were basically we started in the same class in software engineering. uh, yeah, we were together for one semester, I think,
Yeah,
in one class. Then I guess life happened. Life
yeah,
in the Netherlands happened. Everybody took her own path, and like recently we started hanging out like again and talking over the beginning of the summer, I think around June, something like that. And yeah, Gabby is I'd say a really great person. She's really hardworking. Um, she's how is it called, design engineer, or
I'm a
can you?
product engineer.
She's a product engineer. Can you tell us more about your job?
Um, yeah, I would just want to say a couple kind words for you as well, since you were very nice. We reconnected over both of us actually getting over some, usual internationals issues during being in a different country. And it was funny because it was social media what got us together. We just started watching each other's stories and watching um, each other grow just as a person and feeling better. And eventually I just texted him and I'm like, yo, dude, I can't believe it. Like, you've done so well. Let's hang out again. And that's how that happened. Product engineering is it has to do with the translation from research and development down to actually producing what you want to have given to the customer. It has to do with a lot of quality assurance, a lot of checks, some logistics, indeed, and a lot of good communication. Otherwise, nothing gets done and the product never looks the way it should. And a perfect software hardware thing doesn't work at the end because somewhere along the line someone miscommunicated. So that's that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice explanation of your job. Um, like I've seen a lot of people trying to always explain what they're doing and why, and they always start to stutter and like don't know what to say, and they're like uh well, that was a pretty nice explanation. I always go back to like
Yeah, it's quite
yeah,
solid.
always go back to like how how like what's good to how you it's a good way to explain what you do is when you try to explain what you do to a 5-year-old child. If you're able to explain it to a 5-year-old, then then you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the rubber duckling concept in coding?
that like you put the rubber ducky, the rubber bath ducky in front of your face, and you try to explain your code to it.
Yes, and you do that until you find your own mistake. That's pretty much also explaining it to a 5-year-old. I think it's being able to explain a concept to someone who's not familiar with the background at all is definitely a sign that you know what you're talking about. Uh, and I would hope I know. It's my job. Otherwise, otherwise we have a serious problem.
Yeah. Uh,
So like back again from like what we start right now. So I want to clarify again that you guys from Bulgaria,
Yes.
right?
yeah.
But did you guys knew each other back then? You know, like in Bulgaria, or you guys from a different city, something like that?
No, we didn't know each other.
No.
We are from different towns, different cities. Gabi is from the capital, from Sofia, and I'm from a small province city. It's called Blagoevgrad. I think some of you guys already know about it. And yeah, we met here at Fontes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fontes, connecting people.
connecting people.
No product placement.
Usually it's like their quote is Fontes fucking up students, but that's on
Getting you
another
in
note.
debt. Getting you in debt.
Yeah.
But well, I don't know if per se their standard is that or it's just very different to what we're used to. So we translate it that way. So in work, the main thing I learned is don't translate everything negative.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking most of the time when I feel like Fontes is screwing me up, I just try and think of it as a native, if that makes sense. So as someone who's been here his whole life, and then I think, yeah, that makes sense. you know, it perfectly makes sense. Maybe not to the Bulgarian me,
Mm-hmm.
but to the person who's like genuinely trying to integrate,
Yeah.
so I can make something of myself here. I can kind of understand where it's coming from. Still not happy about it. Of course.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think like the just the nationality of the like I mean the behavior of Dutch people, because they have everything sorted out in order and everything follows certain rules. And I would say in Bulgaria we don't often follow all these rules, and we always find some path or some person to bend the rules in our favor. It was quite of a kind of a shock how they proceed here, but I also would say now that I'm kind of used to it, I more or less prefer it actually.
Yeah, structure over chaos, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
right. So, yeah,
Sometimes.
sometime. But okay, maybe give me this question is kind of uh basic, but why you decided to like study outside of Bulgaria and why the Netherlands?
Um, so it's actually funny enough and sadly enough for me it's not a basic question. I didn't really decide
Mhm.
to come here myself. I was doing my own
Okay.
mini sports school thing at back at home. I had a skating school and I was teaching a bunch of kids how
Mm-hmm.
to rollerblade and stuff. But my parents felt like I could do more, so they just told me after graduation, yeah, this is the country. Choose a city, choose a university. Good luck. And then my dad, one of those forceful advices parents give that like they make it sound like an advice, but they're telling you do this or you're abandonment to the family. So he was like, you should become a programmer. And the first thing I saw within programming was ICT and technology, or ICT in general, and then software design. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let's give it a go. Why not? And yeah, hence me being here actually studying electrical engineering 3 years later because I switched degrees.
Mhm.
But yeah, how did you guys
Uh,
decide? I don't know if you've discussed it before here and you don't want to go over it again. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we've talked about it, like I think in our like first episodes,
Good. Okay.
how it went with me and how it went with L. Um, yeah, people know. Yeah, I also
Okay.
switched and etc. That's about. I would like to talk about the topic of people like taking gap years, switching majors, uh, like just sometimes that like just take your time to look around and know yourself better. This
Yeah.
Yeah, because like in Indonesia, this is not very unusual, and people like kind of like uh check that is like not
you mean
a
very
good
very
thing,
very, very
taking gap
it's not
year
very
and switch
usual.
program. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not very usual.
Yeah.
So how you guys like I don't know, get through that, because if I take a gap year, my parents will be obviously mad, and I will maybe kick out of the family.
Yeah. My family wasn't too happy about my gap year either. I had to sugarcoat that a lot, and I had to work, really, really work my hands off in order to make that gap year worth it enough that they get me back in the family. Because the whole family abandonment thing
Mhm.
you mentioned, it's a joke and it's not. A lot of coaches, people get
Eh,
upset when you take a gap year because they don't understand due to generation gap, I think, because back when they were
mhm.
growing up, it was okay. You grab a spoon, so you're gonna be a chef. You grab a this, you're gonna be a doctor, and there was only one place you go, one thing you study, and one job you get. Nowadays, we have a lot more freedom and a lot more choices, a lot more opportunities, and that gets really confusing for some people. And it's normal to be confusing, especially if you were raised that there's only one right way to do something. So yeah, I can completely understand why parents some parents can get really upset if you take a gap year. They don't know better, so they can't do better. You know.
Yeah, I also think it's like really a cultural thing, especially for like Eastern cultures, like even like Eastern Europe or just like Asian countries. Like from what I know, like taking a gap or switching majors, and then like they just like look you with like this judgment. Look, and you're like you feel like a whole damn failure. But for example, when you come to a country like Netherlands, where this is something normal and it's embraced by the people here, it's like when you try it, it's not bad. And yeah, I also had to like really find I don't know a way to explain it to my parents and to tell them like why and okay, is it good, what's the background of it, and it actually in the end went good. And I said in the previous episodes, I'm happy that I have that their support in some of the dumb actions that I take without putting a lot of thinking. It's good that they still support me, and I'll try not to let them down, because in the end, yeah, like family is family, but of course, if it's not too toxic, like you should always make your distinction. So yeah, because I picked this topic up
Okay,
because
okay.
last night I was talking with another friend about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm finishing up my studies now in whatever country, and then I'm going back home for an year, and I'm gonna probably just take like a gap year or something, and just stay home." And then she started like to explain to me like, yeah, maybe it's not good, the thing that I said, and I told her like, I guess you don't know about me, but I switched majors, so I think what you're doing is good because it helps you actually grow more in your like own perspective and find your strengths and find yourself actually. So yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. It's kind of like, wow. But when you guys realize that that first course that you take is not the one, you know what I mean? So what is like the big reason you change your major? Especially like for Gaby, because like right I already knew the reason, but for you Gaby, what is the big reason until you can switch the major?
I've switched twice, actually, and it's always based on the
Okay.
same thing. Do I find interest in what I'm doing? Is it dry? When I sit down to complete a task for this degree, am I driven by the task to keep going? Or am I pushing myself through it
Mm-hmm.
and struggling through and trying to find motivation to do it? Because if the task itself is um, yeah, if the task itself is interesting enough, I don't want to use the word interesting, but if it's attractive enough to keep my interest in, keep me driven to keep going, then I stick with it. And with the first degree, I just, that wasn't the case. I am not what you call a code monkey. I cannot do that. And that was the main thing in the first course. The second course was I did mechatronics, and that's when I realized, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, I really want to deal with electronics, but this is still quite high end, like top end. I'm not scratching, I'm barely scratching the surface of electronics. And I noticed that I'm most interested in the very low level classes during that study. So I was like, okay, these low level classes, if you combine them, what education could that be? And I ended up in electrical engineering, and that was probably the best decision I've made so far. This first block flew by amazingly, even though Corona has made it horrible. We did amazing on our project. I've been enjoying every single step of it. So, and it's also kind of what I do for work, so that helps. I think I really found my place.
Well, well, finally. But uh, what is your parent response of that you switch your major like twice?
Um, so it's really interesting because my both my mom and dad are quite open. Hence me not having a filter and speaking the way I
Okay.
do. So my dad, he was happy as long as I'm studying and I'm driven to study it, because he knows that if I don't like something, I'm not gonna give energy to it. So he was just pushing me constantly to find. He didn't want me to take a gap year. That was the only thing. He didn't want me to stop studying. So he was okay with whatever decision I made. My mom was more basing it on what I can manage. She really wanted me to be happy and to enjoy my university years. So she was more concerned about, okay, how much time is it gonna
Okay.
take? Do you have background on it? And everyone else from the family, so all the grandmas and all those people, they were really upset with me. They were genuinely confused. They were like, yeah, but how? Why? How do you switch a study? How do you just switch a study? That's what you wasted a year of your
Mm.
life. How do you explain to them that in engineering, even 1 year in a different branch of engineering is not a wasted year? I cannot explain that to them possibly because all of them are doctors or whatever. So not this corner at all. They don't understand. So, yeah,
Mm.
and the gap year, everyone hated me for it.
But it's very, I mean, like nice of you that you have a supportive parents, right? Because like as you said before, like they are really, really like want you to be happy and enjoying your university life and something like that. So at least like you have a support for
Yeah,
from them.
yeah. They are very supportive as long as I provide excellence. Now that's the toxic part of my otherwise lovely family. That support, you have all that support
Mm.
as long as all you provide is pure excellence. If you provide anything lower, then,
Oh
well,
yeah.
you receive the proper feedback so that you know, okay, this is not appropriate, you gotta provide more. So, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I see, I see.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's never. Yeah, I also think it's actually never a loss. Even like, yeah, people say you lost a year of your life, but you actually won so much in getting your thoughts together, your interests, in a good way, because you were studying still some engineering major, and even if you were slacking, um, you were spending at least, I think in our cases, you spend your time in something that you find valuable, not just sitting at home, I don't know, playing games and
Yeah.
like do nothing. We just explore different opportunities, if I can put it like that. um,
And it's not lost because I can say that even now in electrical, some stuff from that first year that you and I did, the C sharp programming we learned, I'm using that to make an app to bridge the communication of our project, of our home automation system to Windows application so that you can control it from your computer. So, like, it's honestly not lost as long as you put some time and effort into it, even if it didn't work out. I think that's where most parents get confused. That if you put a lot of effort but it doesn't work out, then they assume all of it was lost. But that's neglecting the fact that you put all that effort. You learned all those things up until the point it didn't work out. So you have all that knowledge already. It's not wasted. You're not, yeah. So I agree with Rado on disagreeing with parents that it's a waste of time.
mm, and for example, what I noticed, like having a background in software engineering, although I was lacking some stuff when I joined, for example, industrial engineering. Although I was lacking some of their way of thinking, I was really easily able to adapt to new software and how to use it. Like most of my classmates were lacking this ability to adapt to software that we have to use, and then it was like taking them days and days to like figure it out how they have to use it. Soft like just normal apps like Access or SAP, and it was quite easy for me to grasp the concept and the way of thinking behind the program itself. And what I learned, it's like for engineering you have to have the type of thinking like an engineer, and then you have like some specialty. Like if you have the way of thinking of an engineer, you can switch to another engineering major and still be good, because you have the way of thinking. You just need to find your specialty, like what you're like really good in it. Because for example, with software engineering, like I myself was able to find that I could manage with some of the programming, but I wasn't as good as the other people in the class. And I knew for myself that if I end up having finishing up this major, I wouldn't do anything exceptional in the end. I'll be just like some programming guy who just gonna stick to the same job for 10 years and not gonna move at all, because I just don't have the like I don't know, the something special to like really get, I don't know, excellent in it. Um, so if you feel that you're slacking, but you still have the way of thinking of how to solve a task, just try to find something in the like in the field, but with another specialty. It's not that you're like a failure. You just have to find your thing. So sticking, for me, failure is sticking to the thing that you're not good, but it's just because of peer pressure you continue doing it, and then like when you become 60 years old, you're like, you feel that you failed because you didn't actually accomplish anything big, and you're not happy about yourself. That's my opinion on this topic.
I agree.
Well,
Yeah, I agree
okay.
quite.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
so like this is interesting for me because like I'm so always like satisfied about like education system in the Netherlands that you can switch, you know, measure like very easily or just like, you know, do some, put some administration to it and then you can switch it. We our basically like I already um we already discussed about this in our, I don't know, our previous episode. I don't know which episode, but I just remember that in Indonesia, even you like study like same engineering, for example like mechanical in engineering, but you want to switch to like what you call like physical engineering or physical engineering, uh even it's like the same same thing like engineering thing, but you cannot switch, you still cannot switch. Even like me, I'm studying interior design, and of course because of design, we can switch only, uh we think we can switch only into like other design major, right? But if but in fact we cannot
yeah.
switch major. So like, I'm studying interior design and I want to study product design. I think there's I just remember that we cannot switch what you call major because in at least in my university there's like grade or scoring for each department, like each major. So if you come from a lower major, maybe like uh grade C major, then you wanna like switch into like grade A major, it you cannot switch, you know, even like you still studying the same is. And talking about that, about grade major, you know, major, I don't know how to call it in English, but like your major has a score, you know what I mean? So it's based on like, sometimes it's based on popularity and something like sometimes based on what you call how hard you get into that major. Is that is in Fontis you guys have some kind of things, you know, like
Um.
scoring for major?
So first, I think that we us saying switching is not very correct because we don't really switch majors. We
Mhm.
stop a study and we start a new one.
Yeah, you start over. Like
You
you
start
cannot you
over.
cannot
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah.
transfer
huh,
your
yeah, yeah.
scores or anything. Like when I'm like air quoting, when I switched, I started over. I started from ground zero,
Yeah. You start from
and
year one.
I earned credits
Yeah, yeah.
again.
The only thing maybe that you can do is if the new course, if the new degree that you've chosen has some interlining courses with what you did before. So let's say you did math 1 2, and then the new degree you're doing also has math 1 2. If you've passed the grade and you have the EC credits for it, then you can ask the teacher and you can get free from that course for that time because you've already taken it. so you can take over some grades, but in general you start from year one. And I think that all courses are, you need what, 60 credits to
Yeah,
get your
yeah, of
proper
course.
DOIG phase, and that's about it.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter if you're doing business or engineering. I think all of them are,
Yeah, and
the overall is the same.
there is also the thing,
Yeah, like you like restarted.
like you could skip a minor phase that you have to do if the exam board in your like new study approves it, but that's not usually the case. Like if you have certain amount of credits, then they might approve it that you can skip the minor and continue with the next course.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, but yeah, and it's like, yeah, people should find their thing. Like I have a friend whose cousin studied like I don't know, health, medical health. I don't know how it's called. Like to be a doctor, he studied for 3 years and a half or something. He got his credits and then he switched to
Mm-hmm.
some kind of business or politology, and he was he went to completely another university because he was just not satisfied to become like a doctor. It was just again a pure pressure because of his family, because like for example, when your family is all doctors, you are bound to become a doctor unless you really want to change the the way of things going. So if at some point of
Okay,
your
okay.
life
So
you feel that you're slacking and you won't be happy for the rest of your life, why why still
Why
pursue
do
it?
it? Yeah, why do it? Because I think
maybe.
I've said that to Rado once, but I genuinely don't understand people who try to, like, the peer pressured people, so people who try to impress other people, live for their expectations, because at the end of the day, the only person you
Mm-hmm.
have guarantee that's always gonna be there for you, no matter what happens, all the way up until the end when you're dying in your last moments, is you. So if you cannot make yourself happy, if you cannot negotiate with yourself, if you cannot work with yourself, then why try and do it for you know all those other people, they could be goners. They
Yeah,
could,
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow that person can just tell you nope, goodbye, or you can get fired, or that school can get, or your parents can disown you, or anything, absolutely anything can happen. And at the end of that horrible miserable day, you're still gonna be with the only person there for you, which is you. So might as well work things out with that person first
Hmm.
and then figure other stuff out.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Yep, I'm literally definitely agree with you. Why we should live with other people expectation, right? Sometimes like society is kind of bad.
Yeah, sometimes like hearing the support of, I don't know, like some people that you like are looking up to, it's nice, but remember that these people might not always be like true with you and show you their true colors. And
Mm-hmm.
as like you mentioned already, like these people tomorrow might disappear from your life, but it's whom you're going to be always, it's you. So do you.
Exactly. Everyone else is taken, might as well be yourself.
And then I have the feeling like these people who are like living up for the peer pressure are the fucked up colleagues that we get at work, that never satisfied with life, people who always like seek out the energy of every task and everything fun of life, and then you come back home, take a deep breath, and you're like, shit.
Murder's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people are one of the heaviest things to deal in the workplace with, I think, because they also have control over the mass mentality. So if there's one of those people constantly shutting down brainstorming or shutting down ideas or the process in general, just being the
Mhm.
buzzkill, then eventually everyone gives up. Because the same way, I think Rado thinks the same way, but if that guy can do it, why the hell shouldn't I do it, you know? And then everyone starts acting that way and it turns into a mess.
Yeah.
Yep, 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 indeed. So, I know this conversation is kind of like a lot of heavier. So, how can we like cheer up about some, I don't know, like
Um,
a fun conversation? Maybe, Rod, you have a, I don't
Now I'm
know, question?
thinking just in the future that this episode is bound to appear about after Christmas, and I'm really interested
Yeah.
to hear like people talking
Wait.
about how they experienced the holidays. Uh, it's people say it's the best time of the year, so it's gonna be interesting to hear how it's going, and like people now filling up with all this like Christmas spirit and New Year mentality, like okay, next year I don't know, I'm gonna be I don't know, I'm gonna lose weight, or I don't know, it's yeah,
New Year resolutions,
New
yeah.
Year resolutions. um so yeah, like what are your expectations guys for Christmas? And then after 2 weeks, when we hear this episode, we'll see if we lived up to them.
Mm. How about you, Star?
Okay, I will start with me. So okay, as I mentioned, I'm planning to spend Christmas with like some colleagues and some friends, and New Year's as well. Um, I was a little bit down because my manager put me like some weird planning for the holidays, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't even like discuss it with me, and then you put it in the schedule." But then we had a talk, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I messed up," and she made it properly. And now I'm thinking like I might try to travel somewhere. I have some classmates in the like in some other towns in the Netherlands, so I might try to have a day trip and check on with them. Because past few weeks I've been like really busy with the projects and exams, and I was like thinking that I want to travel, but just the thought of like not working on like school projects and studying for exams was stopping me from traveling. So I think I'll travel. I'll eat some good Christmas treats. I might I might finally do my plan to watch do a Star Wars marathon. I want to rewatch all the movies, and have a lot of fun with great people. How about you, Gabby?
That sounds a lot social than my plans, but yeah, I'm gonna have quite the quiet Christmas and New Year's. I'm just gonna spend them with my partner. We're gonna have some awesome food. We're planning on making a merge Christmas because he is Catholic, his mom is Croatian, his dad is Austrian, and I am Orthodox, and my parents and I am Bulgarian, obviously. So we were planning on making some sort of a merge Christmas food, massive feast type of thing, because him and I believe that dinner doesn't end when you're full. Dinner ends when you hate yourself. So I think that's one of the resolutions. I plan on eating a lot of food. I'm planning on watching the fireworks from the rooftop of one of the tall buildings in Eindhoven, so that should be pretty. And I really want to as well. I was thinking I have some friends in Den Bosch and some friends in Groningen. I really want to go visit for an overnight, just to say hi, because being on a train, there's something nice about traveling and just getting out there. Not even going to do a party or to do, just to move out of this city for a bit. So yeah, I
Mm.
think those are my plans. What about you?
Yeah, that was like it's interesting to hear the perspective of a person like as you're Muslim, and I'm interested to hear how like would you like would approach this that time of the year. What's your plan?
Well, I don't know how, if I already said it before, but well, this time, well, this holiday, it's kind of like out of my plan because like in the end of the year, especially like since November, I got a lot of project at my work, and I think it will last until like the end of December. But next week I'm going to other city. At least like I'm like Gaby, I just wanna like escape a little bit from Jember. So I will go to Malang and I will spend maybe like 4 days 4 days in my friend's place, just because like she is like doing like her like final project and shit. So staying there, and Malang is like um what you call like very very nice city, nice town. I'm gonna say like town, not a big city, but like town, and you can see because there's like mountains and something like that in there. So I'm kind of like enjoy and traveling, just see mother nature, enjoy mother nature a little bit, and then back it again. And yeah, maybe I already told you, Rad, I think that there's a plan next year. I will go to Bali to spend New Year's, but I don't know. I'm not sure because like I'm going there with my um friends or with my like
Yeah, were
coworker,
you there?
but I don't know. But yeah, I think like
She's talking.
the
Can
the
you hear her?
No.
uh the
Hmm.
the
That's weird.
the sh- the big plan, like the fixed plan is like next week I'm going to Malang and spending I don't like the weekend with my friends. And yeah, but sometimes because like okay, I'm a Muslim, but my aunt is a Christian, so she celebrate Christmas, and it's kind of like a little like I don't know tradition for us, tra- tradition that
Yeah,
oh
Radu couldn't hear you for a while, but I could hear the whole thing. So
oh
I don't know what's
okay,
happening.
okay. So like is she still hear me or
Can you hear
I
her
hear
now?
now. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yep, we're back on track.
okay, okay. So like I'm gonna say it again. Like my aunt is in Surabaya is like Christian, so she's celebrating Christmas with my niece, and then we have a little tradition like just say like Merry Christmas to her, something like that. But like basically, I want to spend like the end of the year in Surabaya, but I'm not pretty sure. But at least that's all my plan. I'm going to Malang, but and I'm going to Bali next year, which is I don't know why it can be in the new year or maybe like in the end of January. Yeah, something like that. It's not like festive or something like that because like I wanna watch like firework in the top of building something like that. But in Indonesia, in the New Year's, if it's always rain, like heavy rain until float and something like that. So it's not gonna
Hmm.
happen, I think.
But do you guys have any traditional anything you do on New Year's? Because we for example we eat specific food. You know, we make panisata, smunetata, and all that.
Mm.
And we have some dances around New Year's, which are, you know, they're completely not connected to religion or whatever. It's just connected to our our people's love for
Mm.
partying and and all
Yeah,
that. Do you
yeah.
guys do anything specific for New Year's? Anything different?
Well, basically like the tradition in here every New Year's is like obviously fireworks, but sometimes we cannot do that like in the New Year's Eve, like in the middle of the night. But we already like put it on from like 6 p.m. So when it get dark, we like some of my neighbor already like set that fireworks, and sometimes we gather with our friends just do barbecue. Just I think like our I mean like our tradition in Indonesia at least in the New Year Eve is like just light up the firework or do barbecue.
Nice, nice. That actually sounds, as the Dutch would say, gezellig.
Yeah, gezellig.
It sounds cozy. It sounds nice. It really does.
Yeah, indeed. But I don't know though. I mean, like with all this, pandemic, I'm not pretty sure that in the New Year's if I will like gather with my friends to do barbecue again.
Yeah, because Corona.
Yeah, indeed. But we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes if I met a plan with friends, sometimes it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? So we gonna like do do things like very quickly, like yeah,
Just some stuff on the go.
yeah, indeed.
Okay. Uh, Something is going on with my throat. Uh, yeah. Well, I hope that we actually have that we all have a great experience with these holidays. Although,
Yeah,
like
I hope so. Oh,
some like it's really like common thing people say it's like the best time of the year, but it's also the time of like people just getting like uh, I don't know, kind of feeling pressured because they look around and they have like I don't know, like they see the movies and other people like spending time with families and etc. And like some like other people are having good time, and actually when you look around just you start to get a little bit depressive, I would say, from the situation.
Um,
At least like in my case, like it's I don't know, like you just look around and you're like
you shouldn't.
yeah.
No, Rado. Drop that mentality. You shouldn't think in that way. Okay, the grass is always gonna be greener on the other end.
Oh yeah,
Always, always, my
I
friend.
know, I know.
But look, those people are having an awesome Christmas, and you should be happy about that. You're gonna have an awesome Christmas. Maybe not the one you used to, but change isn't that bad and isn't that
Yeah,
scary
yeah.
after all. You know, maybe you're gonna enjoy the hell out of this Christmas,
indeed.
despite the fact of it being different. Just go in it with like an open mind, because the backpack is only as heavy as you make it for yourself. So if you go in there thinking you're gonna at least enjoy, make the best out of it, what's the worst that can happen?
Oh no, I
You call
know
me and
it's
you have
gonna
dinner with
be.
me and Philip.
I know it's gonna be good. I don't know. It's
Just not as good as theirs.
no. It's more like I feel more like I'm getting back to thinking just that all the previous years I was going back home, and this time I'm gonna spend it here. Maybe that's the case right now with me, because yeah, I'm used to just going back home. But this year with all the things that are going on, I mentioned it like so many times. I just prefer to just spend it here with friends, good friends, and maybe go back to Bulgaria when the times are better, because you can barely plan anything with what's going on right now, and yeah, it's like, yeah, having the great Bulgarian government. I don't know with what bullshit they're going to come up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's bad. It's not good.
It's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Like people, nurses and doctors from cancer clinics get called to work in COVID rooms because there's not enough people including my mom. But like, it's horrible because it's so badly managed. So the private places still have they're still overstaffed simply because it's private. But most people there are not actually COVID patients. They're there for something else. So those places are overstaffed when clinics and hospitals that require a lot more staff in order to deal with patients which are actually suffering from COVID stay understaffed, and yeah, people have to get called in, and it's a mess. It's honestly a mess.
Well, it's not a big difference in
Oh,
Indonesia too. I mean, like, yeah, it's a mess too in here. Oh my God, the poor management and something like that. So like, what we can say, we just like hope for the best, and the government like
my
do
headphones
do better about this,
One second.
and
My headphones
yeah.
died, so I gotta switch.
Okay.
And she cannot hear you unless it's shit. So give me a second. And I don't know if that mic works actually on the other one. Thingies. Fuck. I thought they would survive.
Um, let's see what we can do.
Well, I can stay quiet for a while. They can charge a bit, I think. Wait, give me a second.
Um,
Give me a second.
what we could.
I don't know if
Okay.
this mic works, but let's hope so. Wait, does it work?
Can you talk, Hel?
No, I can't hear her, but that's probably. Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Well,
I
I
can
can
hear
hear
her.
you.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
okay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I can hear you.
And can you hear Rado? Rado, can you say something?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep, I can hear him
Nice.
too. So like, okay,
Okay.
back at
Yes.
it again. Wait, why is somebody just?
Rado keeps leaving and joining.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry.
okay, like, yeah, I mean, like in Indonesia, there's no much different too. Like the management about this pandemic is like bad, and we keep like, I don't know, focus on other issues than this coronavirus. So like, you know, we just like, basically, I just hope for the best that my government do better, especially like we already almost welcoming a new year. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed,
yeah,
guys.
exactly. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay, like, do you wanna add something, Red?
Um,
Or maybe Gaby, do you wanna ask something?
How did I do as a visitor on your podcast? Do I fit your aesthetic?
Honestly, I think
Oh
like
my
you're
god.
just so fluent with it. Maybe we'll go with more.
Nice. I would love to join. As long as I'm invited, I would love to join you guys.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, this is not what I'm expected at all because, like, I'm really worried that this podcast will turn into like awkward podcast. But you make it like we you make it like we already talked before. You know what I mean? Like, in fact, we just like this is the first time me and Gaby spoke, and like, yeah, we can like you just make it like
Nice. Oh, no, I
nice,
meant
you
nice.
know?
Thank you for saying, yeah, but thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Oh,
Means a lot because it's actually my first time joining anything like this, so I was actually quite nervous. But
okay, so like, okay, guys, Gaby is definitely like we will invite Gaby in the future.
awesome, nice. I'm actually looking forward to that. 2021 already has some nice promises.
Yeah. I guess we could finalize this episode. It's already long enough, in my opinion.
Okay, we can wrap this up. Of course, guys, thank you, Gaby, for like uh make some times to recording with us in this episode. I hope you like it. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, big thank you, and thank you to you guys also that always listening to us and always like waiting for our new episode. Maybe you wanna add something?
Yes, I would like to also say big thanks to Gabby for participating. It was a really nice conversation, really genuine. We covered a few good topics. It was a good feeling. Thank you guys for listening to us and supporting us. Please check out our platforms, YouTube, Spotify, everything. Check out our Instagram page. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. Subscribe to our channels and yeah, share with your friends, family, acquaintances, whatever your dog. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye bye.